protocols. But I think it's not about the VIP culture, it's about the mindset more than anything else. I see we should not try to abuse the security that we get. And I've always been, you ask my people who are with me, I told them I don't want siren, no siren, whenever needed, put up. Anyway, we do that all the time. But it's not official, but I'm just telling you the truth. Since you asked me that, yes, it is. I don't think it should be abused. That's all. But there's a certain protocol that needs to be followed. We can't break that. That's the only thing.
A lot of people got very uncomfortable seeing BJP and NPP flags today in Shillong.
Well, I cannot stop BJP putting up their flags. that was not in my control. They had many flags, so I guess they put up the flags. That's something. NPP flags also. NPP also we put up, but BJP put up. That's not something I can do. Yeah. You ask Dr. Don. I have no UDP flags with me. Yeah.
And a lot of people are also.
You can ask me that during the press. I have no problem with that. Yeah. So
we can start now.
To start. A very good evening to each and every one of our press friends who are present here today, and thank you for coming to this very brief press conference. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank God for giving us this day and giving us an opportunity to be in the government and work for the people of our state. I also take this opportunity to the people of Meghalaya for having faith in us and voting the respective MLAs in their constituencies who have further helped and moved towards forming this government. So I'd like to thank each and every citizen of our state of Meghalaya. At the same time, I would like to thank the alliance partners who are with us, who have shown faith in the National People's Party leadership, namely the UDP, the HSPDP, the BJP, the PDF, and the independents who are with us. I'd like to thank all of them for giving their support to the NPP and showing their faith in our leadership. And I can also say in this press conference that in our working as a coalition, there is no small partner, there is no big partner. We will all be equal partners in the decision making that will lead to the reformation of our state. Having said that, our state is definitely going through a difficult phase. We have a lot of challenges in front of us. Running a coalition government is in itself a challenge. But I'm pretty sure that the kind of leaders that we have in the coalition government, the kind of MLAs who have been elected, and the kind of mindset and the goals and objectives they have, I am confident that whatever challenges that we have in front of us, this coalition government will be able to face those challenges. Having said that, there are of course a lot of economic issues that we are facing. There are a lot of problems in the social sector that we have. There are a lot of issues within the state that we need to look into. It would not be possible for me to lay down all those challenges and all those issues. But I can tell you that our government is and will be committed to the people of Meghalaya and to our state. And we will work sincerely to resolve all these problems that we are facing. And in this effort of ours, I know that we might not be able to resolve all the issues in one shot because these are challenges. But definitely we will see a complete commitment from our side. We have a lot of financial issues with us. I had a brief meeting with our Chief Secretary. I had a brief meeting with some of our senior officials. And I got a very small idea, you can say, or just a general idea about the situation that the state is facing. And it is a tough situation, be it the financial difficulties that we are facing, or be it different sector-wise problems. And I think we'll need to really work sincerely and committedly to resolve those issues, especially the financial difficulty that we are facing. And also, having said that, I think in this whole process, we will try to work with not only the ruling side, but also the opposition to ensure that there is a constructive contribution from all the leaders of all the political parties and all different constituencies that are there in the assembly, so that we can work together for our state of Meghalaya. At the same time, I can assure you that our government is a government that will work for overall development of the state. We are not here to focus on region or area-wise, but we would like to focus on the overall state. Any minister who is there, or the chief minister who is there, he has to or she has to realize that they are there for the entire state. And we will ensure that the ministers work keeping in mind that our state is a very diverse state, and we need to ensure that inclusive growth and inclusive development takes place in our state. Apart from that, we will be working very aggressively to ensure that governance improves in our state. I have repeatedly mentioned this, that I strongly felt that there has been a lack of strong governance in our state in the past years. And having said that, I'm not here to blame anybody, and I don't want to start blame games. I'm not here to find faults in the system. I really want to find solutions to our problems. I want to work as a team, whether it's with the officials or with the cabinet, and as I said, not to find or be autocratic in our system, but really work as a team and, as I said, give our own contribution to finding solutions in the whole, in all the different situations that we face. So that is what the agenda will be, and the governance will be number one in our agenda. The reason I say this is because I think overall governance and implementation is very important. All different schemes, whether it's central government schemes, state government schemes, or whether we have different departments, all of them obviously have to go through a system of governance. And I think if the governance is good, if the policies are created, if the implementation system and mechanism is strong, if the monitoring system and accountability is done, I think if these 3-4 layers are strengthened, I feel that even the current schemes and proposals and projects and programs that we have, we will have a better production or better productivity out of the current schemes and programs also. We would also be trying and working towards ensuring that all the financial resources that we have should be used in a maximum manner to have maximum productivity and minimum wastage. Of course, we cannot avoid all of it all the time, but we will try to have as much austerity measures as possible, because our state does have a lack of financial resources, and it's not easy for us to spend money on everything. So I think we need to be very clear on that issue also. There has to be some kind of financial discipline, which we will try to bring into the system also. Apart from that, there are some key areas that are of concern to our government. Number one, of course, will be areas of infrastructure. I feel apart from the governance aspect, which covers everything, I think infrastructure is very important for us, whether it's roads, and when I say roads, not just national highways, I mean the state highways as well as the village roads. We need to find ways and means to strengthen the village connectivity, because our people live in the villages, and their livelihood is based on the villages. For a farmer to bring their product to the main market is so difficult today. And I think it is a duty of the government to ensure that they find an access to the market. So I think we will try our best to ensure that the connectivity in the rural areas improves. We are very concerned about issues like electricity. We want to ensure that different villages and different houses which are not yet electrified should be brought into the grid. We are very concerned about potable water, drinking water. I feel that it's sad to see sometimes that even our main towns don't have proper drinking water. So I think we will strive towards ensuring that these areas are looked into. Apart from that, of course, there are social sectors like the education, which is again in a very difficult position. I'm very concerned about the issues relating to teachers, because teachers are in a way the backbone of the education system. So I know that it's not easy to solve all the problems in one day or in 1 year also, but we will strive towards ensuring that we can find some kind of an amicable solution, to find solutions to the problems of the teaching staff, as well as try to resolve different challenges that we're facing in the education sector. And I strongly feel that education is very core to our belief as a party, as well as the government as a whole. And we've been trying to ensure that we take education as a priority within the government. And apart from that, of course, other social sectors are there, like health, which is also very critical for us. We want to ensure that proper medication and health facilities are provided in most of the rural areas. Again, I know it's inappropriate for me to say that we'll be able to resolve everything in one shot, but it's a challenge for us, and we are working towards resolving those issues and challenges. It's not easy for us to say that we'll change everything in 1 year, but we will strive towards it. Thirdly, we are very concerned also about our overall development in terms of certain sectors to create job opportunities for our youth. So we are very keen that agriculture or areas of value addition in the agriculture sector is something that I think we'll give a lot of priority to. We also want to give priority to tourism. And yes, the previous government has done its part for the tourism sector, and they have played their role. But I think there has to be a more focused approach on things. I think there has to be more effort towards spending the money in a more constructive manner, where we would see real results coming out. And I think when I say real results coming out, the tourism sector is really meant to give employment at the grassroots level, allow the funds to flow to the people, whether it's a taxi driver or whether it's a food stall owner or whether it's a guide. You see, the tourism sector needs to develop so that this money reaches our people at the grassroots level. So these are the basic outline. I don't want to spell out the common minimum program or something like that, but since you wanted me to speak a bit about these areas, this is where we will focus on. But at the end of the day, these are challenges, and I look forward to getting support from not just the public of Meghalaya, all our people from Meghalaya, also from the officials who are, I know, very committed to our state and our people. And I know that if the officials give in their 100%, which I hope they will in the coming days and years, I think we will see a lot of difference. At the same time, the politicians and the leaders also, the MLAs and the government must also be committed. And I can assure you that our government will be committed, and we will work sincerely to ensure that as a team we can take our state forward and hopefully to newer and greater heights. Thank you very much.
Conrad, thank you for speaking. That was quite a lengthy speech. But you've been it's almost 2 years in the government at the center.
Yes.
And there was a particular scheme of Clean Kanga scheme.
Right.
And our state, all the rivers are almost dead.
Right.
Do you have anything in mind with regards to the reviving?
We, as I said, we have not sat down for a common minimum program in that line, but we will be. But you're absolutely right, and these are areas of concern to us. Shillong or all the hills and the entire state of Meghalaya has always been known for its beautiful rivers and streams. And today you will find that most of them are not at all, in any kind of clean state. So I think it is a matter of concern, and it will be an area that we will be looking into. But I think the picture will become clearer as we go ahead. But yes, it is something, an issue that we are concerned about.
So, on core mining, all the issues that has triggered your manifesto. In what way you are going to solve this problem? The state has been facing for the last 3 years.
Yes. Well, we have been very clear that this coal ban that has been there, it's an issue that is very important to us as a government. And in fact, most of the MLAs who are there with us and most of the members of the cabinet are also concerned about this issue, and we've discussed this issue in detail many times. This issue is not something that is new to us. As you all know, it's a very complicated affair, and there are issues that are related to environment. There are issues that are related to safety of miners. There's an issue related to the policy of mining. There's an issue related to the ownership of the mines. So it's a multi-layered problem, and there are different departments that are dealing with these problems specifically. It's very important for us as a government to be the nodal point which will ensure that we move with the different departments and try to resolve these issues one by one. As I said, there's the issue of ownership. Home department or home ministry is concerned with that. There's the issue of mining safety and creating the mining policy. That is an issue that is dealt with the mining department. I mean, I'm talking about center. Then there is the issue of environment and water, pollution of the rivers. That is an issue that's dealt with the environment ministry. So we need to look at it from different angles, and we need to slowly break it down. So yes, in fact, I can tell you now only that I had a talk with after I was informed by the governor's office that the swearing in will be today. I had called up Mr. Piyush Goyal to invite him for today's function, and I took the opportunity to also mention to him about this issue that the state is facing, and he was very happy. He reminded me that I had raised this issue many times in the parliament, and he said that please do come over to Delhi and we will be happy to work together to find a solution. And we are already getting very positive vibes from the government of India, but there are challenges and there are hurdles in this. It will be quite an exhaustive process, but I hope that we'll be able to come out with a solution in this.
Any deadline to this? Because your coalition partner BJP has promised 180 days. 180 days.
Let us see. I have not read their manifesto, and I wasn't part of the drafting of their manifesto. So I cannot say about that. That you'll have to ask the BJP individuals or MLAs or the party president. But it's a process. So let me not say that it's a timeline. But I can tell you that there will be, a very, very aggressive effort from our side to find a solution to this, and we will try our best to move things as fast as possible.
But Conrad, as a new government, will this new government also follow up on the resolution that was passed in the House regarding invoking of Para 12 AB? Will you also conduct a follow-up on this as to what is the status at the center?
Yes, we will be following up on that, because as I said, this is a very important part of the solution process. If you want me to go into details, I can. As you are aware, that that's the para that allows the President of India to exempt the 6 scheduled areas from any national policy or any act of Parliament. So therefore, there's a challenge out there, because it's a coal nationalization policy and act, and we need to invoke Para 12 AB to ensure that we are kind of exempted in one way. So these are challenges we face, but as I said, it's too early for me to say anything in detail right now. It's the first day, so you'll have to give me some time and space to really go into details. But yes, it's an important part of the discussion, and we will try to move forward in the discussion.
Are you in favor of MMDC? Because earlier the government suggested MMDC.
No, it's very complicated, to understand what the challenges are behind. But obviously, the whole issue is revolving around the ownership. Not whole issue, but one of the part of the issues, which is where the Para 12 AB, which you had mentioned, comes in. So we are going to talk to the government of India and try to resolve this issue. But this is a very important part, and we are trying to get this resolution to move.
Sir, just okay. This one talks about the interstate boundary issues in Assam.
Sorry?
The interstate boundary issues in Assam.
Yes. What do you want to ask?
Yeah. How about it, sir? How are you going
To add, let me add more to this. Today there was a report in some of the papers that there was already a demand from Assam, some residents of Assam, alleging that Meghalaya has encroached into Assam's land in Mangpi area.
Okay.
How do you deal with this situation? It's cropping up.
I have not seen the reports. Slightly tied up today.
Right.
But if there are such reports, I'll try to find out what the fact is about it. And to add up to what you asked earlier, is that yes, it's an issue that is there, and we are concerned about it. It is definitely part of our agenda also. But having said that, let there be a process, and let there be an amicable solution to it. But I would not want to spoil a relationship, with our neighbors, neighboring states, whoever it may be. We want to make sure that development is given priority. But these are issues and agendas that are very much in our priority list, and we will try to work and try to find out a solution to this also.
I have this ultimately you said that the states generally don't have their own internal resources, which are very poor. And over there